All aboard for the transcribed premiere production, The Cruise of the Paul Parrot. And what a cruise it is. So much has happened of late, it's difficult to enumerate all the exciting adventures which have befallen Captain Dalton, our young friends Sue Grange and Johnny Robbins, and all the rest of the crew of the Paul Parrot. We do know that just recently, good old Dickon, the one-legged sailor, evened the score with the giant blue whale, which many years ago was responsible for Dickon's losing his leg. The crew had no sooner made the dead whale fast alongside ship and off to further adventures when Captain Dalton ordered full sail to the volcanic island of Galto. Anchoring just off the island, a party including Captain Dalton, Ezra Grange, Johnny, and Sue is nearing land in one of the whaleboats. Dickon, the one-legged sailor, and most of the crew are already ashore. First Mate Wainwright and one of the crew have remained on board the Paul Parrot. Somewhere on this island of Galto, Ezra Grange hopes to find the vast treasure which rightfully belongs to him and Johnny Robbins. Oh, yes, Paul Parrot himself, the ship's mascot, seems to be the most excited of all as the boat nears land.
Land it is, Polly. Galto Island and perhaps the lost treasure.
Make her fast, me hearty.
Right you are, Polly. Make her fast, men. Ready for a landing.
And who knows, if this map we have is correct, the riches there may be in store for us.
Oh, Mr. Grange, I hope the map is correct and we find what we came for.
I'm sure we'll find it, Johnny.
All right, all of you, jump out. The boat's beached safely. You first, Sue.
Here I come. Oh, there.
Now, Mr. Grange.
All right, then.
Now, Johnny, come along, lad. Men, you'd better haul the boat farther up the beach. No use taking any chance of the tide coming in.
Aye, aye, sir.
Ahoy, Captain Dalton! Ahoy! Shiver me rigging, there's skullduggery afoot, Captain.
Harpooning, mateys.
Now, what's wrong, Dickon? Who's causing trouble now?
It's no who, Captain. It's a nit.
What are you talking about, man? Calm yourself.
It's old Smoky Mouth, Mr. Grange, the worst volcano in these here parts. And I seen her on many a cruise.
Do you think it's dangerous on this island, Dickon?
Strike me pink, I do, miss.
Don't get excited, Dickon. Old Smoky Mouth's much the same as other volcanoes in these islands. That smoke you see coming out of its mouth is almost constant. Been simmering like that for years, I suppose.
But aren't volcanoes dangerous when they smoke?
Not always. The ones that smoke all the time are not necessarily the most active or dangerous.
But Smoky Mouth is such a large volcano. I'll bet it's the largest in the world.
Oh, no, far from it. This one isn't half the size of the volcano of Fujiyama. Over 12,000 feet high she is, with a crater 500 feet deep. And if you walked around her mouth, you'd be walking 2.5 miles.
Aye, you're right there, Captain Dalton. I saw her with me own eyes, I did. When I was a lad, I shipped around the Horn, bound for the Orient. And when you get there, you can see old Fujiyama for miles, you can, sir.
Oh, I like this. It's the first time I've ever seen a real volcano.
Well, they're nice to look at from a distance, but I only hope we won't have to get too close to it, searching for the minerals.
Aye, sir. But it ain't the smoke that I'm worried about.
What then, Dickon?
A short while ago, before you landed, some of the men and myself went closer to old Smoky Mouth to see what we could see.
Did you see anything, Dickon?
It worried what we saw that struck us queer, lad. Blow me down, Captain. It's what we heard.
Well, out with it, man. What did you hear?
As I was saying, sir, we got close to old Smoky Mouth. It looked peaceful enough, all right. But as we neared it, blow me down, as if it were a warning to us we wasn't wanted on the island, she started a rumbling that would have capsized a hulk twice the size of the Paul Parrot.
That must have been the funny sound we heard when we were leaving the ship.
Yes, Sue. I heard it, too.
We were so busy making ready to heave to, I suppose I heard it but paid no attention.
Captain, there it goes again, sir. I don't like the looks of it.
Nor do I, Dickon.
But you can't turn back now, Mr. Grange. That old Smoky Mouth doesn't frighten me.
Nor me, Ezra. I feel a lot safer with that volcano there than I did when that mean old Teste was running loose.
Aye, but he was a man, lass, and against any man there's chance for protection. Not so against an angry volcano once it starts on a rampage.
Right you are there, Captain Dalton. Well, I'll go again, any man before the mast. For Smoky Mouth here, once she went on a spree, it'd be too much for even old Dickon to manage.
What do you think, Captain Dalton?
Well, so there's no telling. We may be lucky and find out what we're after, and all of us back on shipboard with the bow pointed for home, long before Smoky Mouth starts any trouble. If we're careful, it's worth a chance. It'll be a shame to come all this way only to turn back. But the treasure's yours and Johnny's here, and it's up to you. Say the word and we turn back. Say ahead, and ahead it'll be.
I say ahead, Ezra.
And you, Johnny, what do you say?
Ahead it is, sir.
You're a brave pair, Sue and Johnny. Mr. Grange?
Ahead it'll be then, Captain Dalton.
Shiver me timbers, ahead it is.
Well, Mr. Grange and the men here will come with me. We'll join the other men up ahead. You, Dickon, stay behind with Sue and Johnny.
But, sir, I'd like to come along if I may.
And so would I. We're not going to stay behind.
Now, listen, you two hearties. It's better this way. We may want to signal to you. You can make the second trip with us.
Yes, now do as Captain Dalton says. He's in complete charge from now on, as I told him on the boat.
Thank you, Mr. Grange. We won't be long.
Blast me topsails. In all the excitement, I almost forgot about those two lubbers, Old Teste and Red Mulhooley.
Well, they're still chained up in the hold. I don't think they'll be able to get away real soon.
Mr. Wainwright and one of the men stayed on board to make sure of that.
Aye, but just the same, I'd feel a lot better when we drop 'em off at port where they'll get their just dues. If it was left to me, I'd like to do like the pirates do. I'd make the lubbers walk the plank.
Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Walk the plank, you lubbers.
You see me, Oddies? Old Polly knows what to do with them.
I'll bet Old Teste and Red Mulhooley are sorry they ever tried to steal Mr. Grange's map of the treasure.
Yes. I wonder what they're thinking about now that they know they can't get away.
Yeah, and I can thank you, Old Teste, for the fix we're in.
All your talk, Senor Mulhooley. For someday we may not be in chains such as these, and I do not soon forget such insults.
Ah, you can't scare me, Old Teste. I wish I'd never seen your dirty face.
Huh?
If I was locked up in a land brig, I'd know how to get out. But here, halfway in the middle of the ocean, well, it's the first time I've ever been in a seagoing jail. I ain't just figured out how to break 'em.
All of which reminds me, amigo mio, we should forget our quarrel. Perhaps we could devise some plan to make our escape.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Old Teste.
Then, senor, we are friends once more.
I guess so, only...
Only that there is still one chance that we may gain what we are after.
What do you mean, Old Teste?
Just this, amigo. This morning, when the stupid sailor they call Dickon brought us our food, he began his boasting again.
Yeah, blast his ornery hide. If I could get my hands on that salt,
One moment, my friend. You may yet have the opportunity.
What do you mean?
Just this. From what he said this morning, I would say that we are anchored just off the island which holds the treasure according to the map I tried to get from Senor Grange. So that means that the ship will be here for some time. Dickon made the mistake of telling me that it would be useless to try to escape, for they have left First Mate Wainwright and one man to guard us, while the others went ashore.
And that means if we can get away from these chains we're in, we'd have a good chance to overpower Wainwright and the other sailor on deck and make our getaway.
But what, senor?
Where'd we go if we did get away?
To the island, of course, stupid one. Where, after all, we may be able to get hold of the treasure that Grange and the rest of them are after.
Say, that's right. Maybe we could. But what then? We can't get back to the mainland in a whaleboat.
My friend, once we are in control of the treasure, it will be an easy matter to bring the crew to our side. We could leave Grange and his friends to rot on the island.
Say, maybe we could do that, Old Teste. Maybe we could do that.
Now, here is what we do. These chains that hold us are old and rusty. A few blows with something heavy would break them loose.
Yeah, if I could only find... Wait a minute, Old Teste. Look over there with that whale log cask. A loose iron brace.
Ah, I see it, my friend. If you can only reach it.
Now, see. Maybe I can stretch out with my feet and move it over this way.
Ah, that is it, senor. One more inch, and you have it.
I got it. Now I can move it over near us.
Ah. Nice work, amigo mio. Now, first, before we try to free ourselves, we must plan our attack upon the two sailors so that we will not fail.
Yeah, that's right. We can't fail now, Teste.
Now, here is what we do, Senor Red. The two men who are above, watching that we do not escape.
Jameson! Jameson!
Aye, Mr. Wainwright. Be right there.
Jameson, you think it about time to take a look at the two rats we have in chains below?
Rats they are, sir. I'll go and have a look, but I don't think they'll be able to cause any more trouble. That last run-in they had with the captain took all the fight out of them.
Ah, so we are rats, ah? Perhaps we are, but smart ones, ah?
Teste! How did you two lubbers get loose?
Perhaps in due time we will find out. In the meantime, Senor Wainwright and you two sailor, I would advise you not to try anything you'll be sorry for. You see, I have this gun, which Senor Grange was good enough to leave in his cabin, pointed straight at your arm.
Finish the buzzards off now, Teste. That'll be two less we have to worry about.
In due time, friend Red, all in due time. You must control your bloodthirsty impulses.
I must do what?
Oh, never mind, senor. Those ropes lying on the deck, you see them?
Yeah, I see them.
Get them, then tie these two gentlemen very securely.
You'll never get away with this, you scum. Captain Dalton will swing you both from the yardarm of the Paul Parrot and let the sharks nibble your black hearts out.
I think not, my friend. Red, tie them tightly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. The sailor's tied up, so he'll not get away. Now I'll take care of Wainwright here. But I'd much rather cut his heart out.
Senor Red, remember what I said. Hurry, we have much to do before we finish.
They're both tied up. Take that, you swab, Wainwright.
My holy, what did I tell you?
No, I couldn't resist laying the swab low. He made a bad mistake when he called us rats.
It seems he made a mistake when he called me rats, Senor Red. But I believe he was correct about you.
What do you mean by that, Alteste?
I mean this, my friend Red. Remember when we were below in chains, you referred to me as Dirty Face? And if you remember further, my friend, I said I would not soon forget your insult.
But Alteste, we said we'd forget our quarrel.
Yeah, I said we would forget our quarrel, but I did not say I would forget your insult.
What you gonna do?
A few moments ago, you mentioned cutting someone's heart out. That gives Alteste a fine idea. But it will be your heart that is cut out, if any.
You can't do this, Alteste. You need me to help you get the treasure from Grange and Captain Dalton.
No, Senor Red, I think not. Your clumsiness would be put in the way. You have blundered enough already. I do not intend taking any more chances with your round.
Keep away from me, Alteste. With that gun, keep away, I say.
A gun I do not intend to use on you, Senor, but this knife. Ah, that is different. So, Dirty Face, huh?
Just keep your distance, you swab. I should have known you'd try something like this. Get back now, or I'll throw this belaying pin. Will you ask for it?
Ah, you missed me, senor. Now it is my turn to throw, and I will not miss. In one moment, dog, this knife will pierce your arm.
I thought you had me that time, but seeing your dirty face, you missed too. Now I'm going to break you with my bare hands.
Let go of me,
dog. Yeah, I'll let go of you. Over the rail of this boat, Mr. Dirty Face. I got you now. But look first. Look over the side of the boat. Do you see those fins upon the surface of the water?
Fins?
Sharks. Yeah, sharks. And here goes some food for them. They look kind of hungry to me.
Senor Red, my friend, you can't do that to me.
I can't, eh? Watch me.
So, that's the end of the troublemaker Alteste. But what about Red Mulhooley? What will his next step be? And that volcano, Smoky Mouth. Will Ezra Grange, Captain Dalton, Sue, and Johnny find the mineral treasure before Smoky Mouth erupts? Or before they have more trouble with Red Mulhooley? We hope so. But we'll have to follow the transcribed adventures of the crews of the Paul Parrot very closely to find out all these things. Be sure to listen to the further adventures in the search for the vast mineral treasure on the island of Galto with Captain Dalton, Ezra Grange, Sue, Johnny, Dickon, and all the rest as we unfold the tale of the crews of the Paul Parrot. Your Paul Parrot announcer is... All aboard for the transcribed premiere production, The Cruise of the Paul Parrot, that thrilling story of whaling days and buried treasure. The trim ship Paul Parrot has landed finally at the secret island of Galto, where Ezra Grange, the ship's owner, along with Captain Dalton and our young friends Johnny Robbins and Sue Grange, expect to find the valuable mineral deposit indicated on the map originally drawn by Johnny's father and the late Ezekiel Kip. While the party is ashore endeavoring to locate the mineral deposit, the two troublemakers, Alteste and Red Mulhooley, who have been imprisoned in the hold of the ship, manage to escape and overpower First Mate George Wainwright, who remained aboard to guard them. Then, in a raging argument which develops between the two plotters, Alteste is thrown overboard in a sea of man-eating sharks, and Red is left alone. Red takes one of the whaleboats and rows some distance out to sea, around to the far side of the island, so as not to be seen by the shore party. He finally beaches his boat in a little inlet, and then...
Well, I ain't got Alteste to worry about no more. Now I'm on my own. I'll be a millionaire, so help me. And now that I've got this boat beached, better haul her ashore and hide her someplace. This clump of bushes should do. There she be. Now let's take a peep at our bloomin' island here. There ain't much more than that big ugly volcano and a bit of woods about the base of it. That and a hole. A vast. That looks like a cabin at the edge of the woods. Who could be there? I better go over and have a look. I better keep this gun handy. Here we are. I'll just throw the door open quiet like. Don't move where we are. Empty. I'll have a chance to look around. Avast. Somebody coming.
Good fishing. Grub for a couple of days now. Good fishing.
Stand aside, you walking skeleton, and don't make no noise.
Hey, who are you? You walrus? What are you doing on my island? This is mine. Mine, I tell you. Get off. Years ago, I set foot ashore here and claimed it, and it's mine. And nobody's getting that mineral deposit but me.
Stow that. There's plenty what knows of this island. Galto, that's what it's called, and I know that much. So how can you stand there and say nobody knows about it?
Galto? How come you know that name? That's what me and Jonathan Robbins named the place when we landed here for water years ago.
Hold on there, you swab. You and Jonathan Robbins, did you say?
Aye, blanket walrus, that's what I said. And however ye come to know it...
Stow that a minute, you lubber. I gotta think. I has to have it quiet when I thinks. Jonathan Robbins was the father of that bloomin' little sprout that's our cabin boy. Hold. What's your name, you mildewed old fossil?
No man can call Ezekiel Kip a fossil without being swamped in
Stow it, I say. So you're Ezekiel Kip, are you? Blister and barnacles. You're no ghost, are you? You're supposed to be dead.
Dead? How do you know all this about me? It seems there's foul work afoot that nothing's a secret anymore.
Old man, there's a chance we may be friends. We could do a lot for each other.
How do you mean? Speak up.
Well, listen to this, mate. Years ago, you and Jonathan Robbins discovered this island had rich minerals on it when you were sent ashore here from your ship for water. You both held your peace and made a map of the place, intending to return when you were able to outfit your own brig, to mine the minerals and get rich from the Salem.
How ye know this, I don't know, but it's the gospel truth. Speak on, man.
In time, you ran off with the map, leaving Robbins with nothing for his pains but anger for you and hate for the sea. He quit the life of a seafaring man and moved inland to farm.
Be that as it might, there's no profit in going into matters what's past.
Oh, I know what a bloomin' clever dog you are, Kip. Well, though the map was all yours, you had no chance to ever get back to the island, so you sold it to Ezra Grange, and then the rest of the story don't fit. But here's how I knows it. A year or so ago, you were supposed to have died, and you told the story of this island to a Spaniard named Teste on your deathbed. Well, Teste and me was mates until today when the sharks got hungry.
So, that's how it is ye know so much. I was down, sore sick I was, and sure I was dying. So I told Teste, who was me matey then. But I didn't die after all, see? I'm hale and hearty as a pine spar. And last year I managed to ship back to this island, where I jumped ship with one of the dories in the middle of the night. And I've been working my claim since. But now I see foul weather ahead.
Hold on, Kip. You've nothing to worry from me. I'm willing to work with you. But what you have got to worry about is on the other side of this bloody island.
How do you mean?
That bloomin' landlubber Ezra Grange has a full-rigged ship in the harbor there, and his whole blasted crew is out hunting for your treasure.
Shiver me timbers. This is the one thing I've been fearing ever since I sold him that map. I didn't need the map myself. I know the place like a book. But I might have known that a shark like him with a head for business wouldn't take long to follow up that map.
You see, that's why we've got to hold together.
Maybe you're right, mate. It's just us against the whole bloomin' crew. But with my brains and your beef, it should be smooth sailing to run their plans aground.
Avast, then. Let's shake on it. Red Mulhooley's the name.
Agreed, Red. Shake. But look here. We'd best get to the leeward side of the island under full sail and see what we can see.
Yeah, no telling what they're doing right now. Now, here's what I think.
Now, let's see. We've assigned all the men to that task, haven't we, Captain?
Aye, Mr. Grange. Buscara and his party are to explore the north side of the island, and Jowett and his party the south side. Nicholson and a few hands are scaling the volcano to investigate just how dangerous she is.
But, Captain Dalton, how is it possible to tell just how dangerous a volcano can be?
Yes, especially before it really erupts. I've been trying to figure that out myself.
Well, to be truthful, there's nothing we can tell definitely, but we can make a good guess at it.
I'd go further than that, Captain Dalton. As I understand it, Nicholson's an old hand at exploring, and he's come in close contact with just such a thing as this before. You see, volcanoes are found where the Earth's crust is of inferior strength.
Oh.
Areas or islands such as this one we're on actually are ocean basins or areas bordering them. Now, when Nicholson finishes his inspection of this island and discovers just the formation of the Earth's crust, as near as he can, he'll be able to form a pretty close opinion of just how active this smoky mouth can be.
Aye, you're right there, Mr. Grange.
Well, I sure hope Mr. Nicholson's report is good.
Oh, I know it'll be a good one. We've just got to be able to stay on this island.
As I was saying, Mr. Grange, the rest of the hands under the quartermaster are building cabins ashore for us to live in while we dig for the minerals.
Good. Then that means the three of us, yourself and Dickon and I, are free to follow up the map and see if we can find trace of this mineral lode.
But, Ezra, how about us? Aren't we coming with you?
Yes, we'd want to help.
Blow me down, sir. You might know the younglers wouldn't be left in our wake.
Ah, the salt of the earth, I say, the salt of the earth. Ah!
Well, it looks like Polly's for you, Johnny and Sue. I see no reason why you shouldn't come along.
Suits me, Captain, but stay out of danger. Now, let's look at this map. Look, there's the harbor, the volcano, and here's approximately where we are now, close to the foot of the mountain. Now, the outcropping of the vein should be directly ahead of us on the lower slope. Let's set out here.
Excuse me, sir. Sue and I were just sort of wondering, what is the mineral that we're looking for?
Yes. You know, Ezra, you never have said just exactly what it is.
And although my father was one of the discoverers, he never said anything about it to me, you know. He was so disgusted with the whole business, he never told Mother or me anything about it.
Well, you can't blame anybody for being disgusted when his partner steals his possessions. It was when that swab Ezekiel Kip ran off with the map that your father left the sea, wasn't it, Johnny?
That's right, Captain.
Well, I'm not certain of the exact nature of the mineral. It's one of two things, that I know. But I'd rather not say until I see it. I know it'll be easy to say, because if it could be identified by two seamen who naturally know little of minerals, should be pretty obvious.
Begging your pardon, sirs, but this part of the underbrush don't look as if nobody ain't been here.
What's that, Dickon? You think somebody's been here before us?
Aye, aye, Captain Dalton. Look here, look. Blow me down if that ain't a beaten path.
Dickon's right. That is a path.
Oh, blow me down. This is serious. If anybody else knows about this, we've trouble on our hands.
Breakers ahead. Dirty weather ahead.
Avast! Pally don't like the looks of things either. He feels it. There's danger in the air.
There goes old Smoky Mouth again. Gee, that rumbling is sort of scary.
Now, wait a minute. I think, yes, we should be almost at the beginning of the deposit. The map shows it to be in a place just above a slight rise.
And there's the rise, Mr. Grange. Right ahead. That's sort of a little hill.
Yes, a sort of a little hill.
You're right. You both have keen eyes. Here, let's scale it.
Skullduggery afoot.
Blow me down. Quiet the bird, Dickon. His croaking isn't very cheerful at a time like this.
Still that, you bloomin' pelican. It's bad enough without you, John. Avast! Look, sirs.
What is it now?
Footprints.
Footprints in wet earth. And not very old, you may lay to that. We'll have to proceed cautiously.
Sue, you and Johnny stay behind us. There's no telling who may be here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Ezra, do be careful.
Come ahead. We're at the foot of the rise now. I can't see who'd know about this but us. How Teste and Red are in irons aboard the Paul Parrot. There could be no one else.
You suppose one of the men from our crew who were exploring the island might have gotten here ahead of us and left those footprints?
No, I don't think so, Mr. Grange. They didn't go this way at all.
Well, we're at the top of the rise, and the deposit should be right over... Look!
Blow me down.
Lash me to a Jordan. Why, the place is all dug up.
Why, there's a regular mine there.
Sue, look.
There's piles of earth all around.
Mr. Grange, this couldn't be done in a short time. Somebody's been working here for a long while. You can lay to that.
Blow me down. This bear's licking over. I'm going to look around a bit.
Easy there, Dickon. You can't tell what you may be running into.
Aye, aye, Captain. But I don't think there's anyone here now.
Look lively for reefs. Reefs ahead.
Avast, Paul. If you wanted to stay on me shoulders, stow that screeching in my ear. Blow me down if I... Avast
Dickon! Dickon! What's happened to you?
Good Lord, he's disappeared.
Lash me to a yardarm. He's tumbled into a pitfall.
Look, there's a regular trench dug all along, covered with branches. And when anybody stepped on it, he'd fall into the trench.
Dickon, are you all right?
Aye, aye, miss. Sailing Auntie. Ahoy up there. Don't worry about old Dickon. Just go no closer to the mine. This bloomin' trench down here holds as far as I can see.
Step lively, me hearties. We gotta get him out. Somebody built this blasted trench as a pitfall to trap anybody who tried to get to the mine. As soon as we get Dickon aloft from that hole, I'll track down the rat who's done this thing.
Look, those bushes up the hill behind the mine are moving, and there's no wind. I think there's somebody up there.
Ahoy there, whoever you are. Show your colors or I'll shoot.
Scuttle the ship! Scuttle the ship!
This does look like trouble. Captain Dalton and his friends may be able to get Dickon out of the pitfall, but even then they don't realize whom they're up against. They don't know that Red Mulhooley escaped from the Paul Parrot, nor do they know that Ezekiel Kip, one of the discoverers of the mineral deposit, is not only alive, but on the island working his claim. How will this affect Grange's claim to half the treasure? And what can this valuable mineral be? To clear up the increasing mystery which surrounds our friends, we'll have to wait for the next adventure in the cruise of the Paul Parrot. Your Paul Parrot announcer,